Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Yeah, camming. I had to get back on here. I haven't cammed in a while because I just was in a space or whatever. But I'm back on camming vibes, and I just realized how easy it is to make a podcast. I'm gonna be doing that soon too. Okay, but we'll talk about that soon. Anyway, till we get to the podcast vibes, right now we're still gonna practice on this channel. I'm trying to monetize the channel, and so I have, I'm trying to be more on the guidelines, the community guidelines on YouTube. So, because I don't want you all to be mad at me. That's not really the purpose of these videos. This content on this channel isn't really to produce anger, unless that's a productive energetic motif or module for you and your care models. That may be if you need to a muse, project muse in the building, if you know what I mean. If you need an article or two, girl, no problem. Okay. But yeah, anyway, what was I gonna say? With me and just I was talking I'm a performer. I've went through extensive training to perform, and it is a circumstance of my mental health that I'm actually taking more seriously, just because it makes me feel better, quite frankly, quite minutely, but ixnay. However, it's still something I want to talk about. So again, this channel is more around, mental health awareness, harm reduction, and really even on more of the therapeutic ASMR route. This channel really isn't aiming at articulating information that's really probable or usable for you all, but it can be. It's not that it shouldn't be. It's just that it's not, the objective isn't that. The objective of this channel is to express myself in a opportunity to raise awareness around mental health. Okay. Just different expressions of models of care to sustain mental health. Okay. So if there's something on the channel that makes you feel uncomfortable, please click off. If there is something on the videos that deter your energetic understanding of what's happening, that's okay. We have all needed a tutor in life just to help negotiate conversations. On this channel, working just with all things researchable, working with Google, with my Googler, we work with Google on this channel. So if there is something that I say that makes you feel questionable, go to Google, okay? I always say break it down by the segment that makes you uncomfortable, that you get lost, okay? Because with this energy, because I am so intense and extensively trained, I have a due diligence in saying that, because there is a level of competency that is required when dealing with my level of information. Just because it's kind of like talking to a doctoral candidate or any writer. I don't know, maybe just all academics know this, but I guess any trade, anybody in a really good trade, any type of career, any type of professional, really any type of profession, knows what I'm talking about in an extensive variation. That pressure on yourself to perform as not only a business, but as a representation of the business is real, because that is the pursuit of happiness. That is the model of care that is intuitionally, not institutionally, intentionally, okay, a part of the way we work, okay? Why that word for me is slurred has a meaning, and I'm trying to express that on this channel. Mental health, gendered sexualized violence through what institutions? Anyway, we'll get to this later. Okay, these are all holistic health models. This is really, I would probably even put this channel under the holistic health playlist once I get more tech savvy, just because it'll be like my vlog, basically. So vlogging, if you don't know what vlogging is more of a personal side of the internet, of social media, more or less. Where there's informational sides, there's social sides. This is a more personal side, where you don't really share your Tumblr with everybody, but you can. Even when this is more like for the MySpace girls, you can have everybody in your MySpace, but you don't necessarily have to, because it's also just about interacting with the website as well. So, or the business structure as well. So, obviously they would like you to have subscribers and experiences and etc. But that was probably the design thing, that you didn't really need to do all of that stuff, There's a whole other variation to MySpace and all that stuff. But what I'm trying to talk about is the general practice of display. So vlogging this channel would go under holistic health, because it would be an opportunity, an example of display, because you want a space to vent. You want a space to be messy. You want a space to create, a space to think out loud, a space to, curse somebody out, a space to hex a couple bitches, excuse my French. You know what I mean? It's just about understanding culture, yourself, people, the internet, social media, different resources that are at hand, okay, that are available in an abundance, that you don't have to think about in a model of scarcity. You don't have to think about in a framework, a framework of scarcity, okay? Because we're working with the ideology, the mentality of abundance. There's more than enough to go around. And I know that people think the pandemic, the wars, pandemics, there is an opportunity there for education, okay? And the main point I would like to make, shout out my personal Facebook page, the war isn't really with people. It's not with other humans. Everybody has tried to make this illusion profitable, but even that is aloof and truly austere. And I really hate to use that word intentionally. Okay, y'all, that was a joke. Anyway, if Obamacare and all of that, it was a joke. That was a joke. Anyway, my Irishmen know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that was a joke. Anyway, haha. Thank you, somebody. I'm also working on my skits. Okay, comedy is, for my culture, je ne sais quoi. En mon chanson, elle ron et comment j'ai. On j'ai mon pouf, papov shit. It is the ochomba. It is the comedy in my cultural, ancestral, phenomenological happening, experiences, narratives, is the, I don't even say currency, but is the amount, it is the, and I don't even like Meshuggah, but it's something like that. It is the actual undercurrent that I like to, that's the proper word I like to use, but it's the undercurrent. It's the thing, not even the pulse, but the sort of vesselage. Okay, comedy is the point. Aquarius astrology, education. It's actually supposed to be comical, not funny, if that makes sense. Right? You get that difference? What's funny isn't necessarily comical. Comedy, actually, in my cultural relic experience, is more about a energetic exchange. Some people on YouTube have even said they just said it's a currency. Comedy is a currency. Some people have just said that. My channel, I want it a little more. Comedy is an exchange. It is cultural. It's a cultural exchange. Comedy is a cultural exchange, but it's really, for me, it's like the cultural pendulum penance, that allows you to pinnacle, that allows you to actually have some material to the actual information being exchanged. Some have even called it an aha moment, an elation, a cathartic experience, breaking glass, breaking jar, breaking something. But anyway, that was a little insider. Anyway, regardless of all that, comedy is supposed to be a release, and I like to involve that on my channel as well as a part of the experience. Okay. Why is it not necessarily funny? Is because it is a little serious. Serious meaning, right? It's a joke. You're not serious, right? You get it? So if you're not a performer, that might have been difficult for you. Again, this is expert level. I'm trying to get, like I told you, I'm practicing my skits here, okay? So I need a line, but we'll get to that later. Okay. So we'll get to that later. It's a double, unfortunately. Tell me about it. Dancers, I even hate that, people know what I'm talking about, but I am a dancer. Don't get me started. Definitely a dancer. Why it's a little shady though is because bitches broke. Dancers usually bitches. I'm just playing. Damn. Thank you. That one bitch in the back was always clapping at your jokes. Anyway, shout out Judy, okay? Shout out Batgirl Judy. Okay, which knows what I'm talking about. Boys Town knows what I'm talking about. Shout out World Boys Town. Y'all need to go. Everybody asked me about this. Y'all need to go global. They're like, every time I say it, they eyes light up. And they start laughing. Every time I say it to them, I always like, y'all forgot about the other country. Oh. That's exactly what they do. Every time, their eyes get so big. But it's cathartic. That's the word you're looking for. But it's really comedy. Like, that's my cultural relic. Okay, that's our little... Anyway. But yeah. But, ching, type of thing. Also, shout out my musicians. I'm, like, holding y'all in my bosom, like, near to my heart. I'm just, like... My musicians, okay, I'm over it, but yeah, so all the time. But yeah, so it's totally a thing. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I just was thinking about that. Also, shout out, okay, we'll get to that later. Fuck it. Shout out okay, now, for the Irish, when I say Irishman, I have to say it more proper, and I apologize. I meant to say my Celtics, okay? Because that's a thing. And my Celtics, I have to be careful because of the football team, or the sports team. So, I mean Celtics meaning Scottish, Welsh, and Irish. Okay. I put all of that little island area together. Now I know how the Caribbeans get when you put the Jamaicans, the Haitians, and the Cubans together. Okay. With don't have me fuck this up. I'm not trying to be offensive, y'all. I really am not. Look, somebody trying to throwing darts now. Girl, with the Puerto Ricans, you know I was about to bring y'all up. Oh shoot. I just had it with my Barbadian, Belizean, Barbadian, and Puerto Ricans. Okay, I know how y'all get. And then I know how my Martinique, okay, which is a little more Puerto Rican, I know, but it's Martinique, Guadeloupe, and oh, damn it, I just had the other one. I know how y'all get, okay? And then I know my Trinis, my Dominicans, and what's another one over there? It's not Grenada, but maybe Grenada. It's another one. I know how y'all get, okay? Foofies. I know how y'all get. But anyway, I'll put all y'all together. I know y'all hate that, but it's oh well. Ancestry is actually geographic. So I know that y'all think it's more blood, but it's actually geographic, which is, we'll talk about that more on this is my personal page, so this is just me talking about it, but we'll talk more about it on I like to say my professional, okay, my professional page, okay. We'll talk about all of that stuff, and I'll have a PowerPoint, I'll have handouts, flashcards, graphics, okay, for my visual learners, okay. I will definitely have all of that for y'all, okay. So, and for my kinetics, I got it, okay. You looking at the shit, girl, can't see. What the fuck is that, girl? Bitch is blind. I got it. Optical illusion. Because what? Bitch is blind. Got it. Bitch cannot see in the sun. Got it. 2 different types of blondes. Well, actually, that's actually with the other holistic one I'm doing is the eye of lapis lazuli. If you know, lapis lazuli it's a stone. In tarot, they have a whole section just off of lapis. It's like a natural resource, and lapis is so helpful when looking into things of, I like to say, complex nature, or when you're just looking for particular details. Lapis is the one mineral that optically you can use to help define your work. So when eye color and lapis come together, it's interesting because you get 2 types. Ones that read aura, ones that don't. Ones that can see in the sun, ones that can't. Okay? Obviously, there are some other things there, which we'll get into later, but all of that study would go under the eye of Lazarus. If you don't know who Lazarus is, if you haven't studied theology, if you don't know what a seminary is, if you don't know what a monastery is, those are things I would look into. Google is your friend. And it's free. So why not? Hashtag free education. Hashtag free universal healthcare. Okay. Why free You have to remember, universal healthcare has to be free not because of people. I hate that y'all frame it that way. It's because of medical researchers. Fuck what y'all are talking. Fuck them kids. Fuck y'all and y'all damn chick. I don't give a fuck. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It's because the medical research, the medical colleges, They need they need no, fuck y'all. Universal health care, universal free education, universal free health care because of the sheer fact of medical school research. You need both of those two things to operate with proper medical school research, y'all. I mean, I'm trying to get the flashcards and the PowerPoints so we can help break it down for my phobic types and for folks just genuinely scared. I understand that it's a part of life. So we're gonna help with that. We're working on we're working on the phobic training now. Okay, but it's just a tutor, it's just a nurse, it's just a teacher. Okay. So hashtag unions. Okay. Come on, y'all. Hashtag working wage. Okay. Also, you have to remember, our planet is like dead. So taking a bus, taking a train, updating your car, updating your home, not going to the library, not just doing different things that are economically savvy actually serve religion. That was one thing folks forgot about. Some of the stuff for organic vegan types is actually religious based, not even spiritual. It's an actual religion. So that is also a thing. I just wanted mental health awareness. Folks don't always understand that, oh, this is just a form of religion. Rather than, what the fuck? This bitch is crazy. Oh, no, this is actually a part of their religion. Oh, okay. Well, I don't fuck with religion, but now at least I can understand that that's just religion and not be scared of it. You know what I mean? Not let it cause me anxiety. Your body's ability to produce those things is genetic. Now, when you say the word genetic, that is blood oriented. When we say ancestral, that is not blood related. That is geographic. Does that make sense? I mean, there's blood obviously involved, but the frame is actually geographic. So you would get an ancestral test using your DNA, not even blood, DNA, and that actually tells you geographically where your body has traveled. It's not even where. Does this make sense? This is hard for some. It's like taking an allergen test. The same way they do an allergen test is the same way they do your DNA test. It's called a PCR. That's another one. PCR, polymerase chain reaction. Did a PowerPoint on this. Okay. It's about understanding coding, humanology. Okay, that's a thing. And the particularities of creationism in our own culture, which is a thing. So these are just things that we're talking about. You don't have to like them. I just want you to be aware of them so you're not scared of them. Okay. This is all helping me do the summer stuff for the schizophrenic training. Because we're gonna be doing this. Okay, fine. Conference season, I know everyone's gonna get stressed out. It's coming up. So dun dun dun. So everyone's getting ready for their presentations. You'll see everybody's getting, oh, I should focus on work. I should do this other thing. Oh, why is this person so busy? Well, I already said it, so I'm not gonna say it again. I already said it, I'm not gonna say it again. Fuck you, hoes. Anyway, publications. Well, this is actually presentation, not publication. These are the presentations. Right. Presentations are coming up. Yeah, because they're waiting to see. So all the work during the pandemic is now coming to a head. You are going to see all the pandemic stuff finally blooming, finally getting to the stage of maturity. Okay. It's neurochemistry is complicated, but as a social worker, you can realize these things. You, as an educator, you can just realize these things more proper because you work with levels of development. They call it stages. Okay, stages of development. What stage of development is this person in? What stage of development can this person even is? What stage of development is this person in? That's what they say. So, as a part of American Medical Association, that's a thing, right? Just as a thing. There's also the American Psychological Association, which corresponds with. So, all these conferences are coming up. We already had the first one, so now everybody else is going to be doing. And that was a whole nother. That's a whole nother thing. We'll get to that later though, because that's actually next year. Because we'll have to recycle that one. They go first or last depending on how you look at it, and that's how they like it. So yeah, proper surgical research, they would go last. So we just ended a section of research, but that's obvious because it's what, 2022. So now in 2022 they're going to be presenting all the research from the 2010s. You know, because we're still studying stuff from the 1800s. We're still studying stuff from the, so why not 2 years from 20? That limit does not exist. So yeah, this is Saturn training because the millennials are in their return. All the millennials are like PMSing basically. PMSing, and you will never get this energy again, type of thing. See, yeah, you'll never get this energy again, and this is for restorative justice. Mental health teaches you about models of care that are mentally sustainable. Where do you get your insulin? Where do you get your bionutrients that can only be acquired from other humans? Those bionutrients mostly come from womb development, but also come from the stages of development and psychological evaluations. Okay, so let's say you are looking to, for example, my own personal narrative. Okay, I won't use that one. All right. For example, you're wanting to make for example, you are able to choose a color. Okay. And the color that you choose makes you feel this. Okay. That neurocognitive function is about the parameters of paralysis within understanding the overall momentum of possibility. Okay. So you have to be very careful when dealing with this type of energy, just because it has a tendency to be more operable than maneuverable. Okay? Bend, not break type of thing. Hashtag NPR, somebody. Okay? You want to be flexible in times of difficulty, not contrite. You don't want to contract, you want to compress. Okay? You don't want to contract. You want to release. Okay, contract, release. Okay, come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Come on. I don't like release because I feel like that's just it's just a little much for me. So I say compress. Contract, compress. Because you're compressing, like you're compressing your body. Yes, compress, contract, compress. Anyway, so we'll get to that later. But yeah, so it's just about understanding the trajectory of possibility and the overall. Why you shouldn't be concerned about. It's Aquarius. Come on, y'all. It's Aquarius. This isn't stuff that people can really even comprehend. Try to break down this shit to somebody and feel. You know, it's not about the opportunity, it's about the possibility of the opportunity. It's not that the opportunity is happening, it's not that it's just that there was a possibility for opportunity. That's the important piece. Okay. The rest of it, we're not even able to we're not able to do the rest of that. Oh, we're getting feedback. Anyway, so be careful. Anyway, so this is performer stuff now. You have to remember, this is all what they say, fair game. You know, so we went from everybody having a leg up, this person having no more. Everybody leveled. Okay, so if you're used to the incline, if you're used to having that, work with being leveled and see how that feels. It won't be bad. It's like, okay, so let's say you've never gone on a roller coaster before. Let's say you've never gone on a date before. Let's say you've never traveled on your own before. Let's say you've never, worked a shift, or you've never, worked on your own before. Stuff like that. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just about, again, the expression, the display. It's about trying to get at the possibility. Okay? Whether or not the opportunity presents itself, yes, great, beautiful, everything, love it. That's not the point. The point is actually to make more possibilities. You see what I'm saying? That's the point. That's the secret on my channel I like to talk about. But we'll get to all of that later. Back to my personal stuff. But anyway. So, now you also have to remember, this is also about ability. If you know you have veins the size of ants, maybe you shouldn't be doing this type of work, because your veins aren't going to be able to comprehend the level of fluidity coming through. That's like trying to make your internet play, something that has a lot of, graphics on it. Okay. So you want it to beating ass. I always tell them I only come around to do one damn thing. You get on my nerves. Anyway, that would have been perfect. Anyway, synchronicity. This is I'm celebrating. So 222 in the house. Synchronicity for us is like it's not even it's cultural phenomenon, spiritual cultural, ethical, ethnical, you know, you know, 222 in the building. I like, you know what I mean? People should already know this by now, but it's basically organic. You know, this stuff is not, you're not supposed to have it being, this is what I'm getting from this person. No, it's okay. Well, right now I need a little bit of B12. Right now I need a little bit of this. I need a little bit of that. I need a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? So working with those things can help you overall just feel more whole, you know, because at times we feel, you know, not necessarily holistic. Okay. And this is again, this is all for entertainment purposes. So take what resonates, leave the rest. This is all, again, just rehearsal. So, HBO's in the house. Don't sue me for copywriting, girl. Just figure it out. I'm like, I don't have it, girl. Nobody has it right now. You're not supposed to have it right now. Plus, the fiscal year is ending, everybody. This is the last, like, anything that didn't get spent in the budget year, you can now spend it on. So, this is the energy everybody's been waiting for. This is what you've been waiting for. That type of vibe. I'm working on my vocal training. Y'all have to be kind to yourself. Then people can't sing. You know, I'm about to get messy on y'all. Now we back on my channel because we had to practice the holistic channel for a moment. We was practicing the holistic channel. It was there for a little bit. You know, we was practicing 7/7 is okay, but why we using the 2s is because it's the same thing. 7 is just an isolated version of the 2. 8s, all the 8s, all the 7s, everything that's not a 6 basically goes with a 2. Look, the 6s, oh hell no. 3, he can do his own thing. The 2 8s, 2s, 7s, you know, that's all, or you know, Taurus. That all goes under Taurus because fixed Venus, fixed feminine Earth, you know, second sign in the astrological world, you know, Venus. So it's Venus is masculine, Libra. So all of the masculine Libras, they're not going to celebrate their own birthday because they're masculine and they're Libras. Plus it's cold. So Taurus, they're feminine. So they share a whole planet. You know, they're bound to them by a literal planet. You know, and they have not disparted. Okay, look, where, you know, Uranus, Saturn, Aquarius got their own planet, girl. They was over it, girl. But Taurus, Libra, they still share a planet. So it's not about giving. That's why I don't like. This is celebratory. This week we're making the intention of celebratory. Now, like I said, the intention is celebratory. So we just gonna work with that because this is something, again, I told you, and this is the insider tip. They just can't understand. It's not personal. They just really cannot get to that level of clarity, you know, and a lot of times they don't even really want to. I hate to say this out loud. They just be bored. They just be wanting something to play around with, girl. You have to remember, kids want toys. That's all they want is chicken nuggets and Happy Meals and shit, girl. If you're not developed beyond that, that's what you're going to be wanting. You're going to feed that nutritional palate. Okay, we back on the holistic palate. Anyway, back. I know we like over it. Yeah, this is not the holistic channel, girl. This is the messy channel. We tried the holistic channel though. That was like good for like 6 seconds, girl. But whatever. The spirit comes through me, girl. The Holy Spirit, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Okay, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That spirit come through me, girl. Come through. Okay, do the nurse. Oh, we got feedback. So, like, do not fuck up my YouTube, girl. You should not fuck up my YouTube. No, this is my practice channel anyway, so it's fine. That's why I'm getting warmed up because, I'm a performer. I'm used to rehearsals going at least 3 hours. So it's hard for me, and I, shout out Broadway, hashtag performers. Just because of the pandemic, the studios haven't necessarily been open. So, normally we would have hours, I was almost going to say weeks, of just rehearsal time that we haven't really had. So you all, as non-performers, or non-Broadway folk, have had to endure the rehearsals and the recitals and all that stuff that we've had to go through. So it's been a little tight, as I've been said. It's been tight, real tight. You want to loosen up. But also you don't have to loosen up. It can be flexible. Flexibility is not about not being able to retain the muscle. So there's that as well. Retention is also a thing. This is Aquarius. So Aquarius is the fixed masculine of the zodiac. So this is the first experience of masculine energy this entire humanoid has ever even experienced. So it's playing with its own. Humans are playing with their own dick. That's just what we're gonna say. Aquarius. You know what I mean? This is the first time, even as a human species, as a human animal, as a creation content of the world, humans have just now been able to reach their masculine self, So, and it's a divine, but we'll get to all that stuff later. But this is the first time they've actually had experiences with masculinity. So, fine. That's why it's divine, because you all don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. If you interact with divine masculine and you attack them, you try to hex them, basically just do stuff in terms of etiquette that's just not appropriate, or what we call not normal, when around an alpha, it just shows that you're inexperienced. It's not that, and it's not a bad thing. It's like you have a crush on me. I get it. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest lesson I've learned working with 222 is that imitation is flattery. It's flirting. It's flirtatious. 222 is the biggest thing for me was flirting. The art of flirting. Flirtation. What is flirtation? What is and as a performer, that is the greatest gift. Because it's more than an attaché. It's more, this is like performer trade talk. This would be my performer podcast. My support group for performers. Performers anxiety. I would call it the imposter syndrome, the imposters. And I would have the imposters YouTube. We would just sit there and rant about being in a union of performers and dealing with performanalities and performance studies and performativities and stuff like that. But whatever, we'll do that later. So check please. But yeah, if you don't know what debate team is, if you don't, and I have to say that I might be like monetarily enabled to quickly liquidize funding, but I don't have a lot of petty cash on me. But you know, I was thinking about that too, girl. I was like, girl, that was deep. That was deep. That was deep. That was deep. Wow. 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 But yeah, so comedy. Again, what is comedy? This is the study of our culture. Anyway, it's diabolical. But once you get a taste, you'll never not want more. More. But yeah, old people are old, y'all. That's what they do. They get old and they get old. It's called grace. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's obviously not something I think people can really comprehend. The greatest gift in life is grace. It's not actually power. Power is actually useless. Any noble person of nobility will tell you that all that shit's pointless. It just makes them feel good. Okay, it's all really the true. It's not even. I thought that was happening. That's what I thought was happening. Um, but it is what it is, girl. That would make sense to me, honestly. That would make sense to me if you know this person has COPD and it's a respiratory virus. Two and two would probably put those together, you know. So, but I don't know. That's just me and my medical research lens. So I'm not emotional. Um, I don't really Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius sun, which actually makes me a Leo in this age. I feel like, but whatever. All Aquarius is all. I like to make fun of them because all Aquarius sun signs are like Leos this go around because it is the age of Aquarius, and because we have an Aquarius placement in the sun, it's like a Leo placement, but it's like not a Leo because like it's still like an Aquarius, but it can like it like represents itself through like a Leo line. It's interesting, but it's not Leo, it's Aquarius, trust me. But anyway, girl. Um yeah, the whole thing between Aquarius and Leo is hair. Everybody's talked about that. The lion's mane. Everybody knows about the lion's mane. And lions are terrified of what? If you don't know children's stories, you should read them. Mice. Lions are afraid of mice. Yeah, they're actually afraid of mice. If you ever heard of the story. Or no, is it the elephant that's afraid of the mouse? One of them, anyway, it's an elephant and a lion. And one of them gets a splinter. And the mice has to come pull the splinter out because they're both big ass animals and they can't pull this small ass splinter out. So the mice comes and tries to pull the splinter out and scares the one of the animals, and the animal's like, "Oh fuck, is that a fucking mouse, girl?" And they have this whole conversation or whatever, and the mouse is like, "I'm just here to, I was just walking around and I saw you had this piece of fur on there or whatever." Is this there's mice to the jungle are symbiotic to the larger animals because they eat up they're like the decomposers. So that's what they're called in environmental studies. They eat up all the things that have been killed. So yeah, girl, I just did not appreciate that. Ooh, girl, I just did not appreciate that. But it's fine. Everybody makes mistakes, and like nobody's perfect, and like we're all stressed out, just trying to get it right, girl. And damn, it's just that easy, girl. But No. No. It's something like, it's something more like that. I hate to say it out loud, but fuck it. Yeah, it's something more like that. So, but it don't really matter to me, girl. When you do doula care, you learn so much just about life. I always tell butch queens, self-identified butch queens, to do doula. They make great doulas. I always tell them. That's why the cis girls always are around y'all, and y'all never know. Why is this cis girl? I'm gay, and I've told her I'm gay. I'm gay, and I told her the girl, because you're what we call a doula. You guys are natural doulas, but you're not trained, so it's messy. So I can say that on this channel. It's a messy process for you all. So, but we need you all to become registered. So we want you all to be more doula oriented, not less doula oriented. And I think you all have a little. There's a pushback. There's a little ice there, which is interesting. So we'll get to that later though, because doula care, that's intentional. We say that in doula care. That was intentional. Yeah, for certain genetic community, certain diasporic community sees doula care is like the creme de la creme. So, because the whole point of being diasporic is that you continue the fight. Well, not at the fight, but you continue the energetic experiences. So doula care is like the creme de la creme, because it is the environmental, I like to say, lubricant to the process, the aqueous solution. Okay, to the problem is the beverage to the meal, darling. But, and I know everybody's mad. We haven't had the gay clubs. Y'all gonna make me just okay, fuck it. Fuck it, y'all made me do it. Ugh. My musicians. The clubs have not been opened, and I even had to do some of the stuff on hand and foot, as they call it, or something. You know how the musicians get, girl. They say it's something real poetic. I mean, I don't know, but anyway, girl. So the clubs have not been open, so they have all this pent up energy. It's what they call cabin fever. If you know what that means, it's called cabin fever. You have to have routine creative outlets so that you do stuff. That's why people have jobs that they like to do, like, doula care and different stuff, because it makes them feel better about themselves. It makes them feel validated. So, yay. I speak French. I told somebody that too. Death in English is just come in French. Like, oh, they came to my house. Tout l'amour est comme on te pompon maison et chemin. Et la pompon chalet est como, it's a little, but et j'en vends et l'amour est au pépé son. So. On the other side. So, and that was a lot of sugar. That was a lot of sugar. And I haven't even been eating that much sugar. Well, the soda. The soda. I have been drinking a lot of soda. I have been drinking a lot of soda. Fine. No, it was a lot of sugar, girl. But yeah. Arabic is a thing. No, and Arabic is, and only there's Arabic, and then there's like Arabic for like the Quran, which is a whole nother thing. A lot of times when you having spiritual prophetic moments, if you are incarcerated or if you've found Allah on a particular negotiation of your experiences and you have a cathartic moment, you're presented with this opportunity where you feel like you're betraying your religion. And so a lot of incarcerated folks, for example, have talked about this. For those who are religious in that they were incarcerated, or they just found Allah while they were incarcerated, or they were exposed to some sensitivity in life that made Allah appealing to them, or them appealing to Allah. Just basically they've been courted by someone in the religion in some shape, form, or fashion. Then Allah knows them. They have some familiarity. When that cathartic moment comes up, they feel like an imposter. This is what we study. This is in the research. And so they feel like in that moment they have to choose between their religion over their personal desires. And so if you study theology, or if you've gone to seminary or even monastery or any type of, educational experience that it invested in the classics, this is something that has come up before. Where folks have felt like they betray their religion in a more pedestrian way, but you have to remember, civil politics are not a space for personal particularities. Civil politics are for civilities. Civil politics are for civilized individuals, which involves maturity. So, you can sign over your will. You can sign over your right to, there are certain mental conditions that you're not able to sign contracts. If you're not able to sign a contract, then, so. You know what I mean? So, signing contracts is serious. If you can't get serious, you have to use comedy, then you use somebody else to sign your contract who can look it over in a more what we call serious mind. Someone who is lucid, okay? Any social worker knows between lucid, not lucid. This person's on some substances. This person's not on some substances. This person is a user. This person is not a user. Anyone who's dealt with STEM, who's dealt with doulas, with medical staff, medical professionals, caring for medical professionals, being a medical professional, okay, or just having some particularity in negotiations between community. So, and remember, anytime this is all, we got trained. All the millennials got trained all this stuff. So we're just sitting back, kicking up one, or we're just sitting back because it's not a, it's not a, it's not necessarily a problem, but it's something that we've already kind of gotten training before on. So it's not that it's difficult to understand. It's just that it's not able to be processed in the way that people comprehend it. It's like everybody has to turn in a paper, and everybody has to email me this paper, okay? But every time you try to send me the email, something goes wrong. So now everybody has to try to figure out how to send me the paper collectively, and that winds up being the assignment altogether. Those type of teachers. You'll deal with a teacher that you'll think something that you missed the entire lesson, you're doing it all wrong, and that actually winds up being the lesson. If you've ever been in one of those classes that made you think critically, then yes, it's a trick. Okay? It's supposed to be exchanged in a cultural, communal way that isn't necessarily compatible with the rest of the antics, shall we say, of camaraderie that will be involved with personality. Okay. Anyway, this is just banter, okay, is what they call this. A cipher is another word. Think tank is another thing I like to use. Think Shark Tank. But anyway, it's organic. It's running lines. It's a performer exercise that we do just to help try to get more of an experience of ourselves. Okay, and I like to vlog it because it helps me understand the progression. And I get to go back and I'm like, okay, this. And then just gives me experiences with the app, which I really like a lot as well. So, yeah, sex cults, not really my thing. Just as a virus, I'm like, if I wasn't a doula and if I wasn't like a microbiologist, then I would be all into the sex cults. However, as somebody who studied viruses and who's actually into microbiology, I unfortunately can't support sex cults because that is literally textbook viral infection. How did the pandemic start? Sex cults. Simply. That's a good place to end the video. But that's why the pandemic happened. Sex cults. Anytime you have a respiratory virus, this is biblical. It's about the sexual organ. So, these are sex cults. They're doing like sex magic, sex cults, or whatever. All this shit is this is like what we call kindergarten. You have to remember that their brains aren't developed to adequately socialize in an exchangeable way that would not require physical contact. The unfortunate maneuverability of their brains has deterred to the point where it is required kinetically that they interchange with each other physically. Okay, so you'll see choreographically plagiarism because sex cults rely off of what we call uniformity. Okay, that's what a cult is. That's what culture is. This is stuff that we studied. Hashtag Vice Media in the building. We know what Zeus Network is. We know what these different things are because we literally created them. I know it makes you feel good to present it in a way that is new, but that's actually just you trying to accomplish your prompt. You know what I mean? It's actually not even about me. I'm just like what we call a prop. You know, I'm here just to be used and to be toyed with like anybody else. You know, the problem is when people don't realize that it is just a prop and they take it personal or they take it to the extreme. Why that's unfortunate is not personal, it's sustainable. What is mentally sustainable? Fucking with your prop all day? And every performer knows this. You know, when you're able to turn it off, like, you know, when you're, it's like it's a acting technique. And actually some of my other performers, and I talk about this avidly, is that, you know, there's types of acting. There's method acting, right? And then there's other types of acting, okay? I like method acting because you're able to understand motifs of psychological interpretation. And all of this is used in a way that catalyzes kinetic interaction because of culture, because of these relics that we identify with personally. And that sugar, that mashugana, that information, right, that we culturally relic, hold up, understand, validate, empathize, understand, see. Those are things that we as beings are learning. And that is when the masculinity now comes into play. That is why Aquarius is the age of you know, technology. Why age of fixed masculine? Why divine masculine? Why virgin masculine? Why divine masculine? In the essence that this is something for everyone because it has not had the experience before, type of situation. Okay? Or it has happened so many times that it is now, either way you look at it, you're still the fool. You know, hashtag the tarot. Okay? So that's where everybody should be. Okay? No matter how advanced you think you are, once I go to the global network, y'all will look like what you look like. And that's the point. Right now, it's too federal. It's too small. It won't fit. It's too much. You got a big ego. Okay? Y'all need to expand. Okay? If you're not Greek, this might be hard for you. But this is mythology. Okay? This is about studying Zeus. Why is Zeus the king in Greek mythology? Why is Zeus the ruler of our zodiac? Why is Zeus in charge? You're going to understand. So, it's basically what it is. Okay? So, yeah, financial stuff, again, it's all about what is worth, what's worthy, what's, again, not even worthy, but what's valuable. You want to work with things that are valuable, that are sustainable, that are beneficial. Okay? And beneficial is not determined by the other party. Beneficial is determined by you. So that was one thing everybody was making. Oh, is it beneficial for you? No, but you don't need to know if it's beneficial for them or if it's okay that it's beneficial for you. That's not a part of, no. If it works for you, it works for you. And they have to figure it out. You know? This isn't long. And this is customized. So you get to customize it. as well. This isn't. This sex cults are you. People are animal. Like, people are horny. People are just gonna respond. They're gonna be reactionary. You live in a world of reactionary politics. That's just how we are. It's not a good or bad thing. It just is what it is. And I don't want, again, you all to be afraid of those things. Mormons exist. Drinking the Kool-Aid and watching people commit suicide is a thing. Those are a part of our culture. And if you've not dealt with mixed media before, if you've never dealt with just having, more experiences with a technology and a technologically advanced world, then this is that time to play around with technology. This is the time to understand the new app, the new software. Spend a little bit more time on the phone. Work out a little bit more details with yourself in a way that makes you feel holistic. Call that person. Send the letter. Get the job. Do the thing. It's 222 in the building. Okay. You have to remember, people of a darker color, it's not racism. It's not racism. It's caste, which is much worse. So you have to remember that's why people get kind of upset when they say it's racism, because it's caste. It's a CASTE system. Racial politics are, it induces phobias, because racial politics actually are conversatable on a level of academics, in terms of it's an expert level thing. It's not even understanding the human race and what race is sociologically is something only experts can really do. So even bringing up that word, that terminology for experiences of humanology, it may be problematic, because these are examples of languages and cultures that may not be easily translatable. Okay? Again, the point is not for you to get upset. The point, again, is for you to have a cathartic moment, to learn, to experience it in a way that is performative and also in elation as well. So you are more than entitled to a performance. You are more than entitled to having your name expressed to the best of your ability. Absolutely. You can appeal as you may like and see fit. This is civil politics. Civil politics is not social, but civil, in that there is an actual structure to interaction. Exchange is commerciable, is the word you're looking for. So when things don't make money, they don't make sense. So you can't make money from something that don't make sense. Oh well, we almost had it. Anyway, we almost had it. But right, you work as a translator. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. We are a stage of development. When you reach a wall, that means I'm at the age of this stage. It's time to go to a new stage of development. That's all that means. So every performer knows what I'm talking about. And this is more for the millennials. They not gonna understand. They just don't get it. And honestly, at this point, why even try? The younger generation, I honestly, as a millennial, I cheat I use cheat codes with the younger kids, and I just delegate. Because I know it's not fair. Putting a younger kid with an older person is unmatched. Millennials are the only ones who can whoop both of their ass. So it's easy. As a millennial, we delegate. You put the old one with the young one. Easy. Because they both gonna fuck each other up. Easy. As a millennial, you can just watch them do shit to each other. Now, how you supposed to be? It don't add up. We just say that. So, anyway. Yeah. So also, I did want to make this video. I'm glad we brought this up. Black men, black people, it's not about race, it's about ancestral. Some of y'all do come from the slave master as well, and y'all need to admit that. You don't speak for other black people because that problem that you're actually raising is civil because it's a white ancestor raising. You know those courts because you created them. So, yeah, that's why you feel so strongly about it, because it's yours. Yes, you are the father. Damn. No, you the father. It's yours. Damn. Anyway, girl. Trying to get out of my damn child support check. Nigga, you gonna pay your child support. Quit playing. Oop, let me... Community guideline. Community guideline. All right, y'all. Don't get me in trouble, y'all. Don't get me in trouble. That was supposed to be funny, girl. Oh, thank you. Anyway, girl. Because that was a little bit of the holistic health right there. So I'm trying to figure out how to put the messy on the messy and the holistic on the holistic. We're going to get it together, girl. Don't worry. But yeah, some of these are depressed types. If you're depressed, you've clinically not received enough like minerals to survive. So you have to like eat to survive. You have to eat to live. They always say that, or eat to live. People have tried to fight to live. People have tried to talk to live. People have tried to fuck to live. But you can't do any of those things. You have to eat to live. You eat nourishment. You don't give nourishment away. I don't know why people always try to give nourishment. You cannot give nourishment. You can only eat nourishment. Okay? So, and by you eating nourishment, you produce other junk. And other people, you know, it's a circle. That's the cycle, circle, you know, that type of situation. So, and a lot of this is, you know, again, I've never gone on a date before. I've never used a social dating app. I've never used a social media app. I don't know how to exchange, you know, in a cool mindset. I don't know how to exchange with you culturally in the pace that would be appropriate for the level of maturity that we should be in. You know, it's watery, you know, those type of things. So, yeah. So, you just want to be clear on, you know, what's going on, and you want to make sure that it's not about fighting. Well, we're fighting ignorance. So that's the first thing. The only thing you're fighting is the lack of clarity. That's all you're fighting. Knowing what it is, describing what it is, being it, all those things are acceptable. Most of everything is acceptable now. I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't be acceptable, but I'm sure we'll think of something. But it's just like a paper. It's just like a paper. Okay? So, you know, Yeah, and for watery types, again, this is the problem we have with y'all. Y'all aren't eating the nourishment. they they give the nourishment. He's trying to give nourishment. No, you cannot. That's not. You cannot give them nourishment. You have to eat the nourishment. You trying to give me something you're supposed to eat. So, and this is evolution. Not every animal, you know, this is evolution. So, there's also that. Things do go extinct. That's just the thing. As sad as it is, and you may like this, beautiful thing God created, but it's just a thing. Like anything else, it's gonna go extinct, just like everything else. So. So, but yeah, it is a thing. So, it's a thing. But whatever, it's fine. That's obvious. I told you, sex culture's stupid, girl. That's like for the most illiterate, like severely illiterate, severely depressed. Because why can't you get it from somebody else? Why do you have to get it in a cult? Like it something about it just reads non. Something about it just is given something about it is just giving not what you think it is. You would think sex cults is like glamorous and ooh, it's sex. We having some good ass sex, and it's just sex. But you don't realize sex can actually be bad. People can be having a lot of bad sex that can be fucking them up too. You ever had some sex and it was not good, and you sat there and you was just like, it made me feel this. Well, it's actually it's tempering you. This is actually a whole academic thing. Understanding like what fulfillment is a whole bodily thing, which is interesting. Isn't it interesting, right? What fulfillment is interesting. It's interesting. Anyway, so yeah. Can't really think of anything else right now. I mean, it's fine, girl. I totally accept. Girl. Okay. But yeah, so it's a thing. Like everything else. It's a thing. So yeah, those are fighting words. Where we from? It's only one fat bitch. I always tell him it's only one fat bitch. Y'all try to make all of this. It's only one fat bitch. That's colloquial black English. There's only one big wig. There's only one big cheese. There's only one cake. There's only one mixtape. There's only one mic. Shit. What else? Oh, that was the grandma. Oh, I thought it was the other grandma that needed. Whoops. Oh, that's easy. Oh, that's easy. I thought it was something fun, like it was gonna excite me. No, it's boring, tedious, stupid. Yeah. Okay, well, okay, this is super easy. Okay, Scorpio. Scorpios, eights. I just told y'all the answer. All eights, all sevens, anything not a six, basically. They go with twos. That's what Ocha is, a whole religion. Ocha Onchongo, or Ocha Omigo, is 2 8 8 2 in numerology. 8 2 8 2 2 8 cups, still, cup, you know what I mean? So whatever, solo in the house, solo company in the house. Anyway, plastics, anybody? Plastic bottle, plastic surgery, like plastic surgeon. Come on, y'all. Anyway, cosmetic is plastics. So, but yeah. So yeah, there's those things. But yeah, so Scorpio. With Scorpio, Zeus. That's actually Zeus. That's actually a Sag. Um, that's actually Zeus energy. Yeah. It's actually that's Sagittarius because of all the kids. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough when you have one child with developmental problems and they are not able to, really communicate effectively. It's rough on the mother because it is like constantly pressing for clarity. And when you work with cognitive deficiencies, the girls have to be the stronger one when that happens. The girl has to be the one to carry not only her own weight, but a little bit of the partner's weight. Why is that acceptable? Is because the girl actually is supposed to be more maneuverable in the opportunity, okay, of possibility of power. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It just completely, the TV just completely reset, girl. That was freaky. Anyway. Yeah, when you have a child that's a little difficult, you know, the girl has to be the stronger one, basically. The partner has to be the stronger. They have to carry their own weight and a little bit of their partner's weight. If they're not able to carry that little bit of the partner's weight, they will die, actually. So that's the problem. Women as dancers just are expected to be kind of the leader. You're not supposed to dance behind the music. That's not what dancers do. Dancers aren't people who go behind music. They go in front of music because that's what dancers do. Dancers lead the musician. The musician does not lead the dancer. The drummer does not dance or the drum on top of the beat. The drummer drums underneath the beat. Actually, beneath the toe. Not even toes, the toe. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is not for you. But the toe. The drummer dances under the toe. The drummer dances under the dancer's toe, or we like to say under the toe. The drummer dances under the toe. Okay? That's what we like to say. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter there, darling. That's just performance stuff. That's only stuff for theater kids. If you're not a theater kid, if you're not into graphics, if you're not into, aesthetics, if you're not into, different, just the way things look, estheticians and stuff like that. If you're not into those type of things, then you're not really able to, kind of understand the overall, momentum. So that's what makes dancers, is because they just naturally can understand the rhythm. That you don't have to break that part down to them. Everybody else, they kind of, wait a minute, they have to kind of get it broken down a little bit more. Dancers don't have that. We don't need, why dancer is just human, because it's a part of diasporic studies. Every diasporic person has their own, what we call somatics, that they do as a means of communication and as a means of survival. It's not about science, it's just sheer human. It's just life. It's just people. We're human, so there's choreography, there's tradition, there's ceremonies, there's centuries old, and this is all classics. I've told you, Shakespearean in the house. Yeah, because this is my Shakespearean year. If you don't know what a Shakespearean year is called, you should figure it out. But this is my Shakespearean year. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it as much right now just because it's Taurus season and 222. But when Shango come in this motherfucker, I know, somebody's like triggered. But June, we're going to do all the Shango stuff. But this is Shakespearean stuff. So if you don't know, if you didn't go to the Oshun festival, you don't know about the Shango, fine. I'll break it down for you. Shango's coming up in June. It's pretty easy. I'm a Gemini. Cat's out the bag. I'm a Gemini rising. So I have Gemini and Pisces and Scorpio in my chart. So when I say I mix with everything, I really do mean it. But y'all won't be able to take me seriously because of y'all brains. It's okay. I get it. I get it for you, so you don't have to get it. Don't worry. Right. Aquarius. It's yarn. Damn. It's just yarn, y'all. Sheesh. But yeah, so that happens a lot. Yeah. Also, yeah, this is masculine. So if you have fallopian tubes that don't really work, you would go with masculines. You wouldn't go with feminines. So you finna get cussed out. If you got a fallopian tube, just because you had kids don't mean anything. If you don't have estrogen in your body, you working with masculinity. That's just how they go. So anybody producing estrogen is with the feminists, and that's just how they go. Okay. Culturally, now this came up earlier because people are of color. Why I think that's funny is because most folks who call themselves of color are actually descendants of slave masters. So which in academic language, the whole point of calling them a person of color is pointless because they're literally descendants of slave masters. So stupid. That makes me want to slap my knee. That one really makes me want to slap my knee. That was a tickler there. You might be a person of color, but you're still descendant from a slave master. So you don't really get ties to that. It's like I want a biological. You know what I mean? You're what we call like spiritual bastards. So it's not like, you know what I mean? Just because it doesn't, but you're, if you are like, let's say you're what, a person of color, but you have descendants who were slave masters. Anytime you do stuff with people of color, they're gonna notice that ancestor sitting right there by your ass because they obsessed with you because they see you like a dog or a slave. So every time you do something, they gonna see you like they pet, and they gonna be right there with your dumb ass. And so they gonna be like, oh, I'm a person of color. You gonna be at the rally and shit, but then they gonna see them damn ancestors from the Mayflower sitting right there looking like, damn, bitch, but how you a person of color? But then Mayflower people, it's not making sense to me, girl. So you're always gonna, the whole point is you're gonna feel ostracized, which is the whole antithesis of being labeled or autonomizing your character, your personhood as a person of color. The whole reason person of color even came about as an academic language and as a model of care is to be inclusive. This is only stuff Africana studies majors would understand. Anybody else, dead. We already talked about that though. And you don't even have, I mean, just learning the shit of what an academic institutional overlay is phenomenal. Because y'all really don't know the shit. And I'll be sitting there like, you don't even know that this is just a part of the lesson plan. Wow. It's amazing. When you sit, the therapy, y'all really do need to go to the psych ward. Somebody needed me to say that. Y'all really need to go to the psych ward. It's one of those moments where y'all are doing spell work, y'all are doing stuff that you really should not be doing. And, it's not that you shouldn't be doing it, it's just that you don't know how to do it in a way that sustains you. So it's not organic. And that's the problem. Magic is supposed to be organic, y'all. It's not supposed to be manufactured. If you wanted something manufactured, then you should go manufacture some shit, girl. You shouldn't be using magic is organic. If you don't know what organic means, that's a problem. I'm not mad. It's not. You have to this is like courting. This is like legality. This is like law. So feelings are like guilt. Guilt is like chocolate. It's like literally cultural like currency. It's not real. It's fake. A lot of this is just World War II stuff. Even if you didn't go to the war, you're still, because of diasporic literacy, you're still affected by it. So a lot of this is just we call it war brain. War brain is the thumbs, those damn gamers. They can't take their brain out of the damn game. If you're not being able to humanize makes you less human. It doesn't make the other person less human. That's why the whole Orientalism is fucked up, because it makes you seem less human when you're not even able to understand your own self as indigenous. So that's the whole shit why it's so stupid, because we're all indigenous. That's why a person of color, it's all stupid, because it's supposed to be made with the intention of being inclusive and autonomizing and having more spaces in academia for narrative-based research. But none of y'all would know any of that stuff because none of y'all do y'all damn readings. So it's just y'all are trying to turn this shit into WWE, basically. And y'all should just go watch that and stop trying to make shit into WWE. You know how when you like you was just vibing with something really hard and you just felt it hormonally, it really just released your titration of hormones. It released all your titration of hormones. That thyroid, just that Adam's apple drop. You know, everybody has the Adam's apple. They're just not always there. You know what I mean? So your Adam's apple just dropped. Your throat just dropped, girl. You feeling them hormones titrating and shit, girl. You got that assay all in your body, girl, going on. You know what it gives. It's okay. You know, it's okay to stroke out on the dick a little bit. A lot of, this dick is, dick kills. I always tell them that. Dick kills. Pussy kills. Sexual organs kill. That's what they do. People always, I'm like, you in a sex cult. Sex kills. That's risky behavior, as the CDC would call that. No, that's risky, girl. It's like math. It's statistically not profitable. The likelihood of this shit actually is not in y'all's favor, and y'all don't know statistics. So it's like speaking. It's like I could be again speaking another language, which y'all wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I might as well be speaking another language, honestly, girl, because y'all have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. I found it! Oh my god, I found it! I was looking for this thing all day. Okay. Well, there's my line. Where's my prop? Well, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get lunch, girls, because this brain seem a little de-sugared, de-glucosed. The brain seem a little dry, so we're gonna let you girls get a little sugar water in your tank, so we can get back humming. Isn't that right, birdies? So, hum, 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 hum. Oh my god, I had a gay, I hate to say this out loud, but I had one of the gay men cry. He cried. I was out doing just like random errands or something. He cried because he liked the sound of my voice, and he just missed singing. Like, he just missed singing and cried in my fucking face, girl. It was such a moment. It was such a moment. But they knew, oh, you were a theater person. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? You see what I mean? Oh, you were a theater person. Oh, okay. So. Line. Come out. Line. I said it's not about doing crack. And the crack bitches got on my ass for this. The crack is not the problem. And I'm so sorry, crack producer, crack industry. It's not y'all. And I have told the other educators and community advocates, managers, that it's not the crack people. And I'm so sorry that I even did it on my channel. We do it as a joke, but it can create a stigma. And it actually is a stigma to the crack industry. Crack is not fucked up. Crack is like it's a pharmaceutical. Like it's a substance. It's a compound, chemical compound. You know what I mean? It's not the crack that's the problem. The problem is that it's not legal, or it's not clean. It's not kosher. It's not orthodox. It's not kosher. The crack not kosher. That's the problem. It's not the crack that's the problem. It's all the other shit that's the problem. You got laundry detergent. You got this chemical, rat poison. You got all this other shit on it, and you dealing with it, and so that's the problem. It's not the chemical substance in itself. It's the fentanyl and all those other. They literally just created this shit to kill ya bitches. That's a conspiracy theorist, by the way. That was a conspiracy theorist. I was just feeling myself, as the girls like to say, and I wanted to make two ends meet that obviously should not have met. Okay? That's called improv. That means, that's what that means. It's like performance. It's like poetry. It's speculative fiction isn't real. So anytime you hear people come up with conspiracy theorists, you should think hypothesis, joke. Ha, ha. And bitch, if you start to get scared, that means your pussy getting wet. Oh, sorry, is that too much? This is millennials. We're into the scary move vibe. Oh, this is scary. Oh, yes, bitch. I love me some Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean? That's what they'll be like. Oh, bitch. Oh, yes, the Krugers. Oh, yes, girl. You know what I mean? They'll make it funny. So when they stop themselves from making it funny, they mean they're about to have a heart attack because, bitch, they had that. You know, comedy is not necessarily funny because it can kill. Which is funny to me. I'm sorry. That wasn't supposed to be funny. That's why they call me a bully, girl. But bitch, fuck them hoes. Bitch, I'm smarter than you bitches. That's what it feels like to be dumb. It's called stupefy.